we also need to put that into the context of the workplace. And I think the question you're asking is, what is our relationship in 2025 with the workplace? It has changed. The laws are changing, and we are all living in periods of change that are happening in quicker succession than I've certainly seen before. And they affect every part, from where we live, how we live, what we can afford, safety, freedom of speech. There's many new legislation, new laws globally, and all of these things affect us. So is it really a conceivable prospect that everyone is coming to work having managed all of those things, their children, the car broke down, or the family, even booking a holiday? There's many things. So I think in terms of how we work with people, and maybe because we're talking about business, how businesses see their staff or their resource and how to manage that, I do think really does need to change. And the legislation is there that kind of makes that point. So that's a very long answer to your question. I don't know if that's exact.
Oh, it's wonderful, David. I mean, you're covering so many aspects of this. And I think what I'd like to sort of draw on from what I heard you say is that I noticed that really touched me, when you said, to expect someone to come in and have their entire life sorted so they can commit, 7 hours or whatever it is with breaks to just doing the job. I think that's where I want to go, because, many employers, will listen to what you've had to say, and we've both experienced this, and think, well, I don't want to spend any money on this. Why should I spend money on this? They need to just come in and get on with their work, and we'll tick boxes and fill out forms in triplicate and put things in writing all over the place. But it was something about that, is realizing the complexity of the world that we live in, realizing the speed at which things are changing, and realizing that even though things like social media have kind of made people much more kind of definite and adopting positions and divided us in many ways, underneath that, people are very scared. They're scared of their livelihoods. They're scared of what happens if. Some people are sort of 3 paychecks away from ruin, and yet that is our workforce. That is the people that we will be calling on to help run our businesses. So maybe we can now, very gently move into, the employer's view of all of this. And you started to touch on, legislation is shoving us in that direction, whether we like it or not. And the question for me is, do you want to be ahead of this curve, or do you still want to be reacting? Because what's actually happening, if I understand it, is employment law is saying you can't just wait for things to happen, for shit and fan to make contact and then do something about it. You now have a responsibility to provide an environment in which people can come to work safely.
Yes. And the question for me is, why wouldn't you? And that's where I think we need to move away from the divide of work, play, family. Everything is the same thing. We spend a huge amount of time at work. The world is changing, and the workplace is also now a learning place. Now, depending on people's experience of school or college, success or failure, has a huge effect on whether they can hear even instruction or take learning. And even if they take that instruction, did they actually learn anything? And of course, that reflects on people becoming defensive, maybe over questioning something because they're fearful of how they're going to be perceived. So it seems to me that most people do go to work because they need to earn a living. They want to actually contribute. They actually do want to be seen. They do want to be heard. They do want some acknowledgement for who they are, what they do, and how they contribute.